Hi and welcome back to my channel. Good to have you here. So, how to kickstart your Etsy sales right now. Couple of points before I begin this, two critical points. Number one, I'm not a magician. I can't guarantee that it's going to work in your store, but 8 years working on Etsy stores, building Etsy stores, making money for Etsy sellers have taught me these fundamental tips should help you start to make sales or make more sales. Second point is listen to my instructions carefully. Make sure you follow what I'm saying carefully. And most importantly of all, after you've tried these things, let me know in the comments and let me know how you got on. Let's get into these 10 important points. Okay, number one, I want you to go into your store and find 5 dead listings. So 5 listings that have never sold. This is critical. They've never sold, okay? Then you're going to duplicate those 5 listings. So you're going to make 5 copies of those 5 dead listings. You're going to change the primary photo. So either use a different photo for the new version of the listing or brighten up an existing photo. Basically, change the photo or improve the brightness of the photo to make it better. You also are going to change one word in the product title. So just change one word, and then once you've done that, you're going to publish all 5 duplicate listings, one after the other, and you can delete the dead listings. So remember, they've got to be dead, 0 sales. Don't do it with listings with sales. Make sure there's 0 sales. So copy, improve the title, improve the photography, change the primary photo, publish the copied listings. You can then delete the old listings. This is going to invigorate your store. This is going to force Etsy, the algorithm, to come back into your listings, check the 5 listings, index them, and of course you're also removing dead listings, which is always a good idea in your Etsy store. That's number 1. Let's get on to number 2. Okay, number 2. Number 2 is you're going to go and find 20 listings in your store, and hopefully you've got 20 listings. If you don't, you need to get 20 listings in your store. That is why you're not selling anything. So go and find 20 listings in your store. It doesn't actually matter what the listings are, and you're going to add image alt tag data to the photos in these 20 listings. So when you find the 20 listings, you can just open them up in your browser. So open up 20 windows for the 20 listings. When you hover, click edit on each listing and then hover over the photo and you'll see a little pen icon. So when you see the pen icon and click on it, you can now add image alt tag data, or basically describe what your product is to Google and all the search engines out there. Now, once you've done that, you can save each one. Do every photo, so not just one, do every single photo to save so that Google and the search engines know what your item is all about. And again, you're making changes to your listings. This is important. Every time you publish a listing, Etsy comes back to re-index it. Etsy knows how active you are in your store or not active in your store you are. It knows all these things. Now, I know I talk about not having external traffic coming in. So guys, this is just an exercise to get you into making changes in your store. Nothing crazy is going to happen. You're not all of a sudden going to get flooded with sales from outside Etsy. No, it's about understanding that movement and making changes in your store is what this is all about. So 20 listings, add the image alt tag data on all of them, save them, publish them. That's number 2. Let's get on to number 3. Okay, number 3, and I absolutely love this one. In many stores in my 8-year career helping Etsy sellers build and grow their stores, I've used this technique for short-term growth. So what I want you to do is I want you to take 5 listings that are selling. So get 5 listings that are selling, duplicate all 5. So make 5 copies of the 5 that are selling, change the photo and one word of the SEO, just like we did with point 1 in these tips. Change the photo, change one word in the SEO, publish the item, so 5 times, so you've got 5 original items, 5 copies, publish the 5 copies, so now basically you've increased your inventory by 5. So again, this is forcing Etsy to come back to your store and index those items, and it knows how active you are. Notice everything I'm getting you to do is increasing the activity. It's increasing the imprint of activity that you're pushing through your store. So that is number 3, 5 copies of listings that sell, improve the photos, change one word of the SEO and publish. Let's get on to number 4. Okay, number 4 is something that is deadly simple. I've talked about it in the past, but it has to go into this guide, and that is to increase your stock depth. So many stores are crippled by the fact that they've only got 1 in stock, 2 in stock, 5 in stock, 10 in stock. Etsy can see your stock depth. It knows exactly how many items you've got in stock. If you want Etsy to push you and start getting your store some recognition in search and non-search areas of the site, you've got to have stock depth. Etsy puts its trust in money. Always remember that. So you're going to go and find 20 listings and you're going to increase the stock depth over 20. Okay, 20 or more. Preferably do it in your whole store. If you can do it in your whole store, raise the stock depth over 20. This is something that is fundamental to your success on Etsy and to increasing sales on Etsy. Etsy can't push you if you've got no depth of stock to back up what you're doing here. So just like a real world business, if you walked into a shop and you were desperate for a fizzy drink, they had 40 fizzy drinks, but there was only 1 can of each drink, and you had no idea whether they were going to be in stock when you got to the shop, you wouldn't go there, would you? No, of course not. You go to the shop with 40 fizzy drinks and they've got 40 of each drink in stock because you know reliably that they're going to have the stock of the drink that you want. Hope that makes sense. Let's move on to number 5. Okay, number 5 in tips to increase sales in your Etsy store starting now is you're going to have a mini listing plan. You're going to create 10 listings and you're going to enter them into your store at 2 per day for 5 days. So you have to commit to the 10 listings. So you're going to create, you're going to make, you're going to source, you're going to, whatever it is that you do in your store, 10 listings, and you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days and list 2 per day to make 10. Again, it's activity. Etsy sees you pushing 2 items into your store every day. Well, every time you put a listing in, it's got to go to that listing, it's got to index it, and it's recording the activity in your store. So 5 days activity, 2 items per day, really simple, really straightforward. Might be hard work for you to create 10 items. It might be easy depending on what you do. If you do POD, it's easy. If you're actually hand making everything, well, that might be quite hard. But try to commit to this. It's going to increase activity in your store, and it hopefully, if people like your stuff, is going to pull more visits to your store, and you might nick a sale here and there. So that is number 5, 10 items over 5 days. Let's get on to the next one. Right then, number 6 in this tips guide. This is again is straightforward, and so many Etsy sellers don't realize that there's a problem that's costing them sales. Number 6, you're going to brighten the 20 primary photos of 20 listings. So go and pick 20 listings where the listing photography on the primary photo is dark, and then run the photo through an online photo editor. There's tons of them out there. Just search online photo editor in Google and you'll find one. Brighten the 20 primary images and replace the existing image with the brightened image. Now, again, this is going to increase the visual appeal of your store. One of the most common faults that I see in my consultancy day in, day out, week in, week out, when I audit stores, I put stores through a 12-point audit, photography is pretty much always a fail. So I guarantee you in your store, you pretty much are going to have photography issues. And one of the most common is brightness. There's also context and staging, but brightness is massive. It's a huge problem because when people are searching and they see products, wherever they are in the Etsy site, they're going to get drawn to the most clear, eye-catching photography. And they're not even going to see photos that are dark. So get 20 primary photos, raise the brightness level, put the photos back in, publish those listings. Let's get on to the next one. Okay, number 7. This tip is absolutely critical. More and more sellers now are taking care of this, but I've got to highlight it because if you don't do this, it can kill your sales. So number 7 is make sure every single listing in your store has renewals set to automatic renewal. Don't have it on manual renewal. This means every single time your listing comes up for a renewal, you have to approve the renewal rather than Etsy doing it automatically. And this is absolutely critical for visibility, sales history, and sales velocity. You don't want to have to go in and click manual renew on items. You just want Etsy to do it for you. So the process is seamless. Your item is always visible. It is just constantly automatically renewing. So basic, but I'm still seeing stores in my consultancy every week who have it on manual, meaning they've got to go and manually renew every time. That's absolutely crazy. Check every listing and make sure you're not doing this. Okay, number 8, and this is something that pretty much all Etsy sellers get wrong. I think every week I deal with sort of 20 to 50 stores every week at some level or other, and I'd say maybe 2 or 3 of those, maybe less actually, get this right. Your about page. In your about page, you've got to have description of your business, sell your brand in words, number 1. Number 2, you've got to have photography in your about page. So have business process photos, product photos, show people visually in the photos your business world, what you do. And number 3, this is critical, and so many sellers don't do this. You've got to have a business video. So a brand video about your business, show people, showcase your business with these 3 sections of your about page. The about page on Etsy is really, really important. Customers go and look at it. They will look at your photos. They will look at your video because it does 2 things. 1, it increases trust between you and the customer. And 2, of course, it allows an emotional connection between your customer and you. The more personable you are, the more personal you are, the more details you give about your business, they can attach to your business and have an emotional attachment. And that means more sales. So, about page, words, photos, video. You've got to have all 3. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, number 9, this is straightforward and it has a direct effect on your listings' ability to convert. And that is, you're going to get 10 listings, go and find any 10 you can do this on and add product video to those 10 listings. Ideally, your whole store needs to have video. Every single listing has to have a video. It's not good enough anymore just to sort of smash up 3 or 4 photos and think that'll do it. No, it won't. You've got to have a full photo set and you need product video. So in the video, so many sellers still get this wrong. Just do a 5 to 10 second video showing your product in use. So just show the product in use. If it's earrings, have someone put the earrings on, pan in with your camera, just use a phone, pan back out, maybe move the earring so it gets a bit of sparkle. You're showing the product in use. If you've got a chopping board, have the chopping board in a kitchen, chop something up on it and pan the camera in, pan the camera out. See what I mean? So many sellers get this wrong. They don't show the product in use. The customer, if you're buying something, you want to see the product being used. You want to see, well, what does the earring look like? What does a chopping board look like? How big is it? You know, the knife cutting on the chopping board and so on. Just show the product in use. Very straightforward. Find 10 products and add product video to them. Okay, let's get on to the last tip. Okay, number 10, the final tip in how to start getting Etsy sales right now is so simple. Go into your product sales copy, your description of your items. In there, you need 2 links. Link 1 goes back to the section the product comes from. So if it's bracelets, for example, you'd say something like, see more of our bracelets here, with a link back to the bracelets section. The second link is a link to your storefront. So see the rest of our store here. Okay, so you've got a section link and you've got a store link. That way, a customer might be looking at your item and they might say, well, it's okay, it's not bad, this is an okay item, but I'm not sure if I want to buy it. If you've got those links, then they might say, let's see what else they've got. And they'll go into the section, the bracelet section in your store and check out what you've got in there. And they might purchase something. If you don't have those links, they might just go, no, I don't like it. And they're gone. And they're never coming back to your store again. So number 10 is section and store links. Absolutely critical for retaining customers in your store, keeping them circulating. We want them circulating inside your store, not circulating in Etsy. We want to hold them in your store. So those are the 10 tips. Get into my comments. Let me know if you're going to do it. Let me know if you do it, what happens with your store. You can do all 10. You can start today. Let me know how it goes and check back in with me. And if there's anything else you need to know about Etsy, get into my comments and ask me. You know I reply to every single comment. I don't mess around like everyone else and just do the first 5 and then, oh, can't be bothered. No, my aim is always every single comment. So thank you ever so much for watching. I really, really appreciate you as always, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.